looking at an acquisition in the pharma space, and within the next 12 months is when they plan to close it. By the way, the market is selling off now, so don't lose sight of that. The Nifty is just hanging on to 18,000 by the skin of its teeth, down about 140 points. There's pressure, of course, in names like Tata Motors, but some new stocks are topping the list on the losers chart. So there's M&M that's down about 3% ahead of its numbers tomorrow. There's Titan that's down about 3% Axis Bank, of course, Tech Mahindra, Eicher Motors, SBI Life. The list is getting longer in terms of losers. But on the gaining side, Westlife Development posted a stellar set of Q2 numbers, the highest ever quarterly sales and EBITDA. Of course, post-COVID, consumption has come back in a big way. So you're seeing it in the numbers. Revenue is up 44% versus the pre-COVID base, and there's a 40% same-store sales growth as well this quarter. Amit Jatia, who's the Vice Chairman at Westlife Development, joins us now to talk about that. Amit, good morning and thanks a lot for joining in. You know, I'll come to the core numbers in a bit, but just in general, if you can tell us, how has the situation evolved now? We are well past, the COVID phase. Compared to pre-COVID levels, the growth has come back in a big way. But what do you see as the big trends over the next 1 to 2 years?
Well, we are quite bullish about where we are heading, especially in the informal eating out space. Particularly when I talk about Westlife and brand McDonald's, we feel that rather than being tactical, we've laid a very strong strategic foundation through the omni-channel strategy, and particularly focusing on meals through our menu. And actually that is continuing to give us results. While I hear there is weakness in the market in sort of FMCG particularly, I feel that at least our business continues to grow quite strongly. So we feel that the shifts that have happened through COVID, where in-store eating has come back, but that has not impacted the off-premise business at all. In fact, in the last quarter, off-premise business grew by 12 to 13%, while in-store came back by almost 95%. Okay. That clearly reflects that it is foundational shift, and we continue to see this trend in the coming months.
Okay, all right. Hi, Mr. Jatia. You know, in the first half of the year, you've done close to around 1,100 crores. Earlier, you were guiding for around 1,800 to around 2,000 crores odd. So my guess is that given the kind of appetite that everyone has and going by your commentary, you should easily surpass that, right? What should be the year-end target in terms of revenues and steady-state margins we look at from here on?
Sure. I mean, we surely think we will cross 2,000 crores. So we are quite confident about that. In terms of margins, we had said, mid to sort of low teens. We are already in that territory, even with very strong inflation. And I think we will ensure that we not only stay there, but try and move up a few bits as well. So what you've seen in this quarter, we expect to continue in the coming 2 quarters as well.
Sonia and Nigel, in office, all you guys keep talking about these new coffee variants, right? I mean, all these, Slack, and I think that's already old, right? This is new Slay, sorry. But the coffee for me is
off the ball.
The coffee for me is, no, I've not had my cup today, so that's why, the McDonald's coffee. I mean, I love it. I mean, so good morning. So McCafe, right? I mean, I think it's already back to pre-COVID levels. And what are plans? I mean, I think that is also a highly profitable setup for you. And you're rapidly expanding that across stores. Where is that at and what's the progress?
No, we're doing very well with McCafe. As you rightly pointed out, not only have we come back to pre-COVID levels, but we've made a significant shift in our packaging. And therefore, we are grabbing a decent share of the delivery market as well. However, I feel the game of McCafe is yet to play out. I think by now, consumers are slowly beginning to realize that there is good coffee available at McDonald's. So we have 2 objectives with McCafe. Firstly, we want to ensure that we have 100% penetration. What I mean by that is that today we have about 260, 270 McCafes. The plan is to be in every single restaurant. So therefore, the idea is to double the base along with restaurants. So hopefully we'll have 400 to 500 McCafes. That is one part. The second part is average unit volume per McCafe has done extremely well. And I think that's going to double to triple as consumers start recognizing that McDonald's has something called McCafe and it's resonating and the coffee is really good. So I feel the opportunity for McCafe is huge, and that obviously helps us with gross margins as well. So it's going to play out in the coming few years.
Not just good coffee, right? Inexpensive coffee as well, affordable coffee. I mean, if you look at the prices out there, it's bizarre the way people are paying for coffee. So I get that. I mean, it's a great proposition from your end. But, you know, I also noticed, at least personally, I mean, when I look around, I noticed that average order sizes have also gone up quite a bit compared to, say, what they were pre-COVID levels. Personally, I feel that myself every time I go to a restaurant, perhaps because I'm going after such a long time. Are you noticing that too in the numbers? And also on premiumization, are you seeing that play out as well? Not just in metros, but in tier 2, tier 3?
There's no doubt about that, at least from a brand McDonald's point of view. I mean, if you think about it, you know, earlier we were pretty much reliant on value and our happy price menu and aloo tikki. Today, you know, fortunately, our strategy has played off and we have many, many products to talk about. Now, if you think about coffee alone, you know, an average cappuccino at McDonald's is still value for money, but it's 125 rupees. Versus if you think about aloo tikki, again, that's 40 to 50 rupees. Other than that, we have the gourmet range where the burgers start at 200, but very much value for the 200. And similarly, fried chicken, again, is a higher average check product. So yes, premiumization is happening. Now, I mean, I don't call it premiumization. In my view, I call it a bit of indulgence. Consumers now recognize what a burger is and they want variety, they want change, they want indulgence. And from the aloo tikki days, they are looking for a burger that's more filling, that's bigger, that's got unique ingredients like, say, jalapenos. And we are seeing the consumption in that area grow very nicely. Okay. So yes, average check is going up for all these reasons.
All right, Mr. Jatia, give us a couple of details. And what is your revenue share between metros and non-metros? And also on the total app orders, how much of it is from your own app?
So, I mean, we don't share the breakup of what comes from our app, but the important thing is that we now have 22 million users that are using our app. Our app is growing extremely well. We've recently improved the user interface. We've made it simpler and easier for people to place orders. And all of that is giving us better traction. Also, our digital team, our digital strategy is beginning to take off. It's taken us a little while, but all that is reflecting in better sales through our own app. However, I must say, we look at 3POs as partners. And I think we have an extremely good relationship. It's a win-win approach that we take with them. So we don't mind as long as consumers sitting at home are consuming our product. We are happy with that wherever they order from.
Okay, and split of the revenues between metros and non-metros?
So we don't share that breakup, but I must say that if I were to take sort of a guess, 60% of our business would still be in metros, and our focus towards non-metros is increasing. I look at it as a positive that we are only in 54 cities, while competition could be in 100, 120 cities. And that shows the opportunity that's available for brand McDonald's. We will continue to grow in the metros, but we think that we have a huge opportunity in the non-metro as well.
No, absolutely. I think you briefly alluded to fried chicken, right? Is that when did you introduce that sort of product? And I think you've got some targets for contribution per store there. And is that largely focused on the south of India?
Well, at this point, it is focused largely in South India, because South India, it is important to have that product to be a relevant player in the industry. We actually launched it with the start of COVID. So we had a bit of a setback there, but I think from the last year onward, it has really picked up. The total market size, in our opinion, in South India is 4,000 to 5,000 crores. And we feel that we should have a decent percentage of that market. Currently, I had said this in the last quarter, our stores are incrementally doing about 50 lakhs per restaurant per year out of fried chicken. And we think it should double over the next 3 to 4 years. So we see a tremendous amount of volume coming from this particular product category.
So, just going by the numbers, right, it seems like you can achieve your 2-year target as well earlier, perhaps, than what you would have forecasted. I mean, you've done already 1,100 crores in the first half, and you said that in the next 3 to 4 years, you're targeting about 2,500 to 3,000 crores. You want to advance that target a little bit?
I mean, we are soon going to have our investor day where we are going to talk about our strategy for the next 5 years. I'll just step back for a second, and I'm saying, very boldly in 2016, when we were 800 crores, we talked about 2022-23 to be 2,200 to 2,400 crores. And at that time, we didn't have many believers. Our margins were 6 to 8%. Today, they are 13%. And I must say that this year, yes, we look like we might cross those targets in this financial year itself. If you look at the current run rate, almost 600 crores. So if I take 2 quarters, 1,200 crores added to the 1,100 crores, we are in the 2,200 territory for sure. So yes, we should move that target up a bit earlier. We are quite pleased.
And Amit, that investor day that you said is coming up, will you put out sort of slightly longer term targets as well?
Yes,
bigger
always.
plans?
I mean, in 2016, we talked about 2022 and 2023.
Okay.
And we recently did a check that we pretty much have met all our targets there.
Okay.
Now we will talk about 2027.
I thought Prashant's going to ask you whether you're going to put out some burgers there in that investor day, You have 3 people right here.
What is the point of coming to a McDonald's conference without burgers?
That's a sector I should have tracked.
But this fried chicken business is quite interesting, right? He's saying that, Amit is saying 4 to 5,000 crores in the south of India. I was there, driving around Kerala, Tamil Nadu. I remember last year, maybe the year before that. And I remember seeing a lot of these KFC stores and then just fried chicken stores with the logo of broadly resembling KFC, but not KFC. And the offering was just fried chicken.
Yeah.
And so I think, Amit, that is basically what you're going after, right? That market.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, McDonald's is not new to fried chicken. Yes, in India, people don't relate the brand and connect it with fried chicken. But if you go to Southeast Asia, we have a very good offering around that. So it's a brick by brick approach is that's how I think about things, that you don't launch everything at the same time. We first needed to get to 150 stores in South India when we went with what I call a silver bullet. So since launch, it's resonated very well with consumers. Our chicken scores have moved up in the consumer's mind, and slowly the connection between chicken and brand McDonald's is increasing the relevance for the brand in South India. So I'm quite bullish about this particular product line.
All right, Amit. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure and good luck with all of those plans. And we look forward to hearing about those targets for FY27 shortly from you as well. Thank you. Any discussion about food and all
coffee.
Show timings and everything goes for a toss,
Especially
right?
coffee, right? I mean, that's a good brew there. But thanks a lot, Amit, for joining in, and all the best. Well, let's do one thing. Let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, Mitesh Thakkar will be joining in for some technical trades. We'll also get a quick update on what's happening in the world of commodities.